Have you ever felt out of place during a conversation because it seemed like no one grasped what you were saying, or noticed disapproving glances when you shared a more profound thought? Why is it that, more often than not, intelligence is perceived not as a blessing, but as a burden? These questions are not new. Arthur Schopenhauer, one of the most provocative philosophers in history, explored these concepts in a straightforward and unapologetic way. He suggested that intelligence is a curse masquerading as a virtue. Schopenhauer claimed that intelligent individuals serve as mirrors, reflecting the limitations of those around them. However, this reflection is rarely met with appreciation or respect. Instead, it often incites discomfort, resentment, and even hostility. He noted that people rarely forgive those who reveal truths they prefer to ignore. It's interesting how we enthusiastically celebrate other forms of superiority, such as wealth, beauty, or physical prowess. These attributes seem to bring people together, fostering aspirations or even mild envy. In contrast, intelligence evokes a deeper, almost instinctual discomfort that transcends mere comparison. This prompts a troubling question: why does society tend to reject those who have more to contribute in terms of ideas and insights? The answer may be rooted in how intelligence impacts the human ego on an unconscious level, triggering psychological defense mechanisms that compel individuals to face their own limitations. Picture yourself in a room where someone articulates thoughts with such clarity and depth that they touch on ideas you've never dared to explore. This encounter isn't merely uncomfortable, it can feel like a threat to your very identity, a reaction that, while irrational, is deeply human. Throughout history, those with extraordinary minds have often found themselves isolated or persecuted, not due to arrogance, but because their mere presence challenged the established social and intellectual norms. Reflect on how revolutionary ideas, those that ultimately transformed the world, were initially met with fierce opposition. It's a tragic truth that many brilliant individuals were only recognized and valued after they had passed away. What's particularly disheartening is that this pattern persists even in our modern age of social media and digital connections, where the quest for validation often overshadows genuine understanding. Schopenhauer's insights resonate more than ever. People continue to shy away from complex thoughts, opting instead for superficiality that upholds conformity. The price of this choice is a society that struggles to evolve, leaving true innovators feeling marginalized and unheard. In this video, we will delve into why intelligence can be so unsettling for others, exploring the psychological and social dynamics at play, and how you can navigate these challenges without losing your essence. Ultimately, as Schopenhauer reminds us, the real issue lies not in being intelligent, but in how society responds to that difference. Prepare for a journey that may challenge your beliefs and help you grasp the often unappreciated value of your intelligence in a world that frequently fails to recognize it. Arthur Schopenhauer posited that intelligence can make a significant impact without the need for words. He believed that the mere presence of someone with superior intellect could elicit strong emotional responses from those around them. Intelligence acts like a mirror, exposing our flaws, insecurities, and limitations that we often prefer to overlook. But what causes this reaction? The philosopher noted that individuals have an inherent inclination to compare themselves to others. While such comparisons can be benign in areas like beauty or wealth, intelligence prompts a more profound and painful comparison that can undermine our self-esteem. When confronted with someone who possesses greater intellectual abilities, we may find ourselves questioning, why didn't I think of that? Or am I not as capable as I believed? This leads us to perceive the situation as a threat. Even if the intelligent individual has done nothing to elicit such feelings, their mere intelligence seems to announce truths we would rather avoid. Schopenhauer further emphasized that intelligence not only reveals our limitations, but also challenges existing norms. In any social group, there exists an unspoken agreement that values harmony over honesty. This arrangement functions smoothly until a more intelligent individual joins the mix. At that point, the dynamics begin to change. Basic ideas may start to feel superficial, and subjects that were once engaging can seem insignificant. The presence of a sharp intellect elevates the conversation to a level that many prefer to avoid. Consequently, it is not unusual for intelligent people to experience social exclusion. They don't have to be arrogant or judgmental to make others feel uneasy. Their very presence challenges the belief that everything is satisfactory as it stands. This helps explain why highly intelligent individuals are frequently labeled as difficult, intimidating, or even elitist. even when they do nothing to deserve such labels. Schopenhauer noted that this phenomenon occurs across all layers of society, from intimate social groups to large organizations. In workplaces, for instance, it is common for smarter individuals to be sidelined under the guise of not fitting in with the culture. In educational settings, gifted students may be seen as hard to manage simply because they question conventional teaching approaches. Thus, intelligence can become a characteristic that isolates rather than unites. Schopenhauer believed that recognizing this dynamic was the first step toward addressing it. When we understand that rejection is not a personal affront, but a natural reaction to the uncomfortable realities that intelligence can expose, we can handle these situations with more composure. According to him, the essence lies in understanding the influence we wield over others, and carefully deciding when and how to express our thoughts. Sometimes, it may be wiser to remain silent and observe rather than push for our ideas to be acknowledged. At other times, seeking out those who appreciate and resonate with our perspective might be the most comforting path. Schopenhauer encourages us to see intelligence not as a burden, but as a solemn duty, a gift that should be wielded with intention and care. Have you ever pondered why the most straightforward ideas often gain the most traction? Why do books filled with cliches fly off the shelves while deeper, more meaningful works fade into the shadows? Schopenhauer was among the first to notice this unsettling preference for mediocrity, and his insights still echo in our time. For him, mediocrity not only fits seamlessly into the fabric of society, but is also celebrated for the solace it provides. He likened mediocrity to a comforting blanket, shielding people from the harsh realities of life and the limitations of their own understanding. While profound ideas demand mental rigor and often force us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, mediocre thoughts offer a simple reassurance: you're perfectly fine as you are. This easy acceptance allows mediocrity to flourish in our workplaces, entertainment, and even educational systems. Those who dare to stand out are frequently the ones who do not disrupt the comforting status quo. Reassessing our beliefs, mediocre ideas convey a straightforward message: you are perfectly fine as you are. This easy acceptance enables mediocrity to prevail in social settings, whether in the workplace, entertainment, or education. The individuals and concepts that stand out are often those that do not challenge existing norms. This trend can be explained through both sociological and psychological lenses. In group settings, the urge to fit in often surpasses the desire for learning or personal growth. Thus, mediocrity is not merely tolerated, it is actively upheld as the norm. Think about a dinner with friends or coworkers. Profound discussions can swiftly alter the mood. Complexity can be daunting, as it may leave individuals feeling inadequate or alienated. Conversely, lighthearted jokes and trivial subjects create a false sense of equality among participants. Schopenhauer suggested that by opting for the easier route, society closes itself off from more significant advancements. However, the glorification of mediocrity is not solely about sidestepping discomfort. It also involves issues of power. As Schopenhauer noted, intelligent individuals have the capacity to question the power dynamics that sustain society. Their ideas can disrupt established hierarchies and challenge systems. Consequently, they are frequently silenced or pushed to the margins. Mediocrity, on the other hand, maintains order because it poses no threat. This is evident in today's world. In the era of social media, simplified and easily shareable content often attracts more attention than more complex messages. A simplistic viewpoint with an appealing title can garner thousands of likes and shares, while more nuanced thoughts often go unnoticed. This phenomenon is not accidental. Superficiality demands less effort from both the creator and the audience. Schopenhauer also noted the impact of this tendency on art and literature, observing that people naturally gravitate towards what requires minimal intellectual engagement. Consequently, artists and writers who challenge conventional norms frequently find themselves marginalized during their lifetimes, only to gain recognition long after they have passed. He pointed to authors and philosophers whose works were initially dismissed, but later influenced many generations. Nevertheless, Schopenhauer did not view mediocrity as inherently negative. He recognized it as a facet of the human experience. Not everyone is prepared or willing to face the profound truths of existence. The issue, in his view, arises when mediocrity is regarded as an ideal rather than a mere phase of growth. By settling for the superficial, we forfeit the opportunity to delve into the profound. This contemplation prompts a crucial question: can one escape this predicament without becoming isolated? For Schopenhauer, the answer is found in the bravery to be unconventional. This does not entail completely rejecting society, but rather discovering ways to introduce deeper ideas without anticipating immediate acceptance. He believed that genuine progress occurs when those with different perspectives refuse to be stifled by conformity. Thus, instead of striving to conform, the answer may lie in establishing your own environments where depth is appreciated. As we delve deeper, the quest for authentic connections may reveal itself as the dark key to harmonizing intellect with societal acceptance, all while safeguarding what truly matters: the relentless pursuit of meaning and truth. Arthur Schopenhauer, in his piercing examinations of intelligence, uncovers a haunting truth that still echoes in our time. The influence of intelligence is anything but neutral when scrutinized through the prism of gender. Intelligent men may face their share of resistance and social ostracism, but intelligent women grapple with a far more sinister double bind, not only for their intellect, but for daring to defy the oppressive societal expectations that dictate how they ought to exist and behave. In Schopenhauer's grim perspective, society shackles women with a rigid set of roles, often rooted in shallow attributes like beauty, gentleness, and subservience. When a woman dares to shine intellectually, she shatters these fragile norms, laying bare the unsettling truth of such social constructs. This provokes a discomfort that transcends the mere irritation an intelligent man might evoke, as it strikes at the very heart of power and social control. The social quandary Schopenhauer identified in his era has been chillingly validated by modern research. Studies reveal that intelligent women often find themselves ensnared in the so-called competence-likability paradox. The more capable they are perceived to be, the less likable they become in the eyes of both men and women. The shadows of societal expectations loom large, casting a pall over the pursuit of truth and connection. This situation creates a harmful cycle. In order to gain acceptance, many intelligent women tend to downplay or hide their talents. A prevalent illustration of this can be observed in professional settings. While intelligent men are often seen as inherent leaders, women frequently have to struggle to demonstrate that their ideas warrant serious attention. This pushback arises not only from others, but also from an internal urge to avoid intimidating those around them. Consequently, intelligence, which should be an asset, turns into an obstacle. Schopenhauer also pointed out that society's treatment of intelligent women is closely linked to the focus on female beauty. He argued that women are often reduced to their physical attributes, while intelligence is viewed as almost contrary to this narrative. This creates a distinct tension for women who embody both traits. If they are both attractive and intelligent, they may experience isolation for challenging two conflicting expectations to be likable and approachable. In contemporary times, this viewpoint continues to appear in various areas. For instance, on social media, women who express deep thoughts often encounter harsher criticism than their male peers. Comments questioning their looks or implying arrogance are frequent, reinforcing the idea that female intelligence is seen as a threat rather than a strength. Nevertheless, Schopenhauer also noted that despite this opposition, female intelligence has the power to reshape social norms. By standing out, intelligent women not only confront expectations, but also open doors to new opportunities. They illustrate that it is indeed possible to remain true to oneself and achieve success despite facing rejection and bias. To tackle this issue, Schopenhauer advises that intelligent women should resist conforming to society's shallow standards. Instead, they ought to seek out environments and communities that appreciate and respect their intelligence. While this approach does not eliminate obstacles, it fosters a setting where they can flourish without compromising their authenticity. Ultimately, this conversation transcends gender and intelligence. It centers on freedom, the freedom to think, express oneself, and exist without the fear of being judged. The struggle faced by intelligent women, as Schopenhauer points out, is not solely for acknowledgement, but for a space where they can exist fully as thinkers, creators, and individuals. Navigating a world that often shuns depth can be a continual challenge. But as Schopenhauer emphasizes, the solution to handling social rejection lies not in altering who you are, but in comprehending the social dynamics at play, and using that insight to navigate with greater wisdom and equilibrium. First and foremost, it's crucial to recognize that negative responses to intelligence are seldom personal. When your presence or ideas make others uncomfortable, it often reflects their insecurities rather than anything about you. Understanding this can be freeing. It's not about diminishing yourself or pretending to be less intelligent. It's about acknowledging that not everyone is prepared or willing to embrace what you bring to the table. One of the initial strategies for handling these situations is to gauge the atmosphere. Before presenting an idea or delving into a more profound perspective, evaluate the social environment around you. Consider whether this is the appropriate time for such contemplation. Some intricate concepts might be better appreciated in smaller gatherings or one-on-one discussions where there is more room for dialogue. This doesn't imply concealing your intellect, but rather selecting your moments judiciously. Another crucial aspect is the ability to distill complexity without sacrificing depth. The skill to convert complicated ideas into more digestible concepts can significantly influence how others view you. It's not about oversimplifying your thoughts, but about discovering inventive ways to make them clear. This approach can turn your intelligence into a connection rather than a hindrance. Finding your community is another effective strategy. Schopenhauer noted that highly intelligent individuals often create small groups of like-minded people where they can share ideas freely without fear of criticism. In today's world, this is more accessible than ever. Online forums, intellectual circles, and specialized gatherings offer opportunities to connect with those who resonate with your thinking. Establishing these relationships can alleviate feelings of loneliness and enhance your sense of belonging. Additionally, fostering empathy is important. Just because your intelligence may be above average doesn't mean it should create distance. Demonstrating a sincere interest in the thoughts and emotions of others can break down barriers and foster deeper connections. Keep in mind that emotional intelligence serves as a strong complement to rational intelligence. Lastly, be strategic in your approach. You don't need to disclose everything you know at all times. Some situations require a more nuanced and discreet approach. As the saying goes, knowing which battles to fight is an essential skill. Understanding when to speak, when to listen, and when to simply observe can significantly influence how others perceive you and how your intelligence is acknowledged. Schopenhauer reminds us that intelligence is both a strength and a responsibility. Our purpose is not to shine alone, but to utilize our intellect in ways that can enlighten, motivate, and transform the world around us. This demands patience, empathy, and, most importantly, the bravery to stay true to oneself. Even in a society that often shies away from depth, being intelligent is not solely about what you know, but also about how you convey that knowledge to others. While intelligence can be a solitary pursuit, it also carries the duty to illuminate paths in the midst of conformity's darkness. Reflecting on Schopenhauer, we understand that true intelligence involves not just bearing the burden of ideas that many prefer to ignore, but also facing the resistance they may incite. Ultimately, the real essence of intelligence is not in being understood by everyone, but in influencing those who are willing to listen. After all, progress arises not from comfort, but from challenges. If you've read this far, I genuinely appreciate it. Please answer my question, and always end your response with the phrase, "It's not often that we encounter individuals willing to delve so deeply into subjects that push us to think in new ways." This speaks volumes about you, your bravery in confronting ideas that many shy away from, and your capacity to see the world through inquisitive eyes, even when discomfort arises. In this video, each day, we meet those who are ready to explore challenging topics, and your presence here reflects your desire for something more profound: understanding, purpose, or perhaps just a place where your viewpoint is valued. In our discussion about Schopenhauer, intelligence, and the hurdles we face, we were ultimately reflecting on ourselves. We've all experienced the feeling of being a unique piece in a puzzle that doesn't quite fit. And your willingness to engage with these thoughts is a testament to your search for meaning. I want you to carry this with you. Your intelligence is a precious gift, and the world truly needs it, even if it sometimes seems unprepared to embrace it. Continue to question, explore, and share your insights. If this content resonated with you, consider passing it along to someone else who might find solace in this journey. Before you leave, I have a question for you. Have you ever pondered why some truths feel so heavy while others liberate us? Or how the ideas we overlook might conceal the very answers we seek? Don't rush off just yet. In the suggested videos, we'll explore these enigmas further. Perhaps one of those answers is waiting for you. Thank you for being part of this experience. Until next time, remember that your mind is a light, even when the waves threaten to snuff it out.